at the port. The focus for the police will now be on the combined threat of drug trafficking and cybercrime. Tom Bateman, BBC News.
Talks to resolve the standoff over Iran's nuclear program have come to an end, with the promise to keep on talking. Discussions have been described as detailed and constructive, and Iran has suggested wider inspection powers for the UN nuclear watchdog could potentially be part of an eventual deal. They plan to meet again early next month. Let's talk now to Syed Hossein Mousavian, a former Iranian ambassador and spokesman for Iran's nuclear negotiators. He joins us now from Princeton University. Is this rhetoric or real movement, do you think, by Iran?
After years of failed negotiations, this time the world powers and Iran, they experienced a very serious, real and constructive negotiations because Iran initiated the most comprehensive package to resolve the nuclear standoff.
So are you aware of any of the detail? Because at the moment very little has come out of Geneva.
The details are supposed to be confidential, but based on my understanding, the package is covering the two major demands of the world powers and the two major demands of the Iranians. The world powers are demanding Iran on a set of measures assuring the maximum level of transparency and cooperation with the International Atomic Energy. And the second, they are asking for a set of measures on no breakout capability, assuring Iranian nuclear program would remain peaceful forever. Iranians also, they have two major demands, lifting the sanctions and recognizing Iran's right for enrichment on their NPT for peaceful purposes. The package Iran has proposed is in very detailed, very comprehensive, covering the four major principles outlines which I told you.
But is the problem here that this deal has got to be acceptable to the people, the Revolutionary Guards back in Iran, and the problem for the West is that in the past Iran hasn't told the truth?
Actually, Iranians always have been ready for transparency measures and cooperation, for assurances on no breakout capability and non-diversion toward weaponization. The problem always has been in the talks with the P5+1, which they have not been ready to reciprocate Iran proportionally and appropriately. Now it seems the world powers are ready for proportionate reciprocation. Still, a big question remains to me, which is the U.S. Congress. If the U.S. Congress does not cooperate with President Obama, negotiations can fail because lifting sanctions definitely would be the major part of the deal Iran and the P5+1 are negotiating and are going to have the next round within almost a month.
I'm really sorry, Hossein Mousavian, but we are out of time on this satellite. But thank you very much indeed for joining us on the programme. Stay with us here on BBC World News. Still to come, the rock from space that landed in Russia. Scientists pull what they think is part of a meteorite out of a lake after it hurtled to Earth in February.
Once considered the centre of the world, at a crossroads between Asia and Europe, Istanbul is my city.
Everyone is going somewhere here. It's the mad, scatty city. Ho Chi Minh City is my city.
I wish that we could introduce new technology, allowing us to do business transactions online.
For nearly 400 years, it has attracted people from far and wide, and it's now a rich mix of diverse cultures. Cape Town is my city.
This is BBC World News. I'm Tim Wilcox. Our latest headlines. Markets soar in the hope of an agreement between Democrats and Republicans to reopen the government and raise the debt ceiling until early next year. And talks to resolve the standoff over Iran's nuclear program have come to an end, with discussions described as detailed and constructive. Well, let's get the latest now on what seems to have been that deal reached between Republicans and Democrats in Washington to extend that debt ceiling until next year and to reopen government after 16 days. Let's go to our correspondent, Laura Trevelyan. It seems on the face of it, Laura, that the Republicans have given everything.
Well, Republicans, of course, engineered the strategy of shutting down the government, and in return they wanted to extract changes from President